Yes, mates, how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL Punk YouTube channel, where we try to dominate FPL one game week at a time. So in today's video, we'll do a quick game week 19 review and swiftly move on to my team selection for game week 20. Haaland is still injured, AFCON and the Asia Cup are fast approaching. Who's best to own over that period? Stick around to hear my current plan. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Be strong.
Right, mates, first up, we've got my game week 19 review. 47 points for this game week. Game week rank of 2 million. Overall points has gone up to 1,077, and my overall rank has gone up ever so slightly, 475,000. Those 47 points are mainly down to the likes of Areola, Trent, Isaac, and then 2 assists from Porro and Son. The likes of Trippier, Saliba, White, Gordon, Salah, and Watkins all blanked. Bit of a disappointing game week, but really happy that Areola 10-pointer. Otherwise, I might have been forced to make a goalkeeper transfer. A transfer this week, I did do Charlie Taylor to Trent, and I felt that was better for the long-term structure of the team. I know I'll put more money into defence, but this game week 20 was looking like an issue that I might have to field 2, maybe 3 Newcastle players away to Liverpool. Doing that Taylor to Trent move just made me have a better team structure, and I felt it was better for my team in the longer term, keeping those 2 free transfers. Looking forward to the likes of AFCON and the Asia Cup, and then I can do Salah and Son out for free. But overall, pretty happy with my game week 19 performance. Let's move on to my team selection for game week 20. So just before we get into the team itself, there's some information in the bottom right hand corner. A team value of 103.2 million, 1.6 in the bank, and 2 free transfers. I'm sticking with Areola in goal after his 10-pointer versus Arsenal, and I don't think it's worth making a transfer anymore. Initially, I was very tempted to make a transfer, and if I was going to make a transfer in the goalkeeper slot, I'm maybe looking at the likes of Emi Martinez, moving right up to the premiums, and maybe looking at someone like an Alisson, or maybe somebody like a Neto or a Leno from Fulham. But I'd be looking more on the premium end. You don't want to be wildcard anytime soon. You want your goalkeeper to be solid, stable, reliable source of points, and going for those premium options or the slightly more expensive goalkeepers might be the better route to go, and then you've got a more of a long-term goalkeeper plan in mind. But for me right now, I've got Areola, Brighton this week, then he's got Sheffield United next week. It's just an easy hold for me right now, and if I did make any goalkeeper transfer, it would be Matt Turner to one of those and one of those names that I've just mentioned. Onto the defence itself, not happy playing Trippier away to Liverpool, but this is something that I might just have to be forced to do. Like I mentioned before about taking Taylor and going for Trent. If I didn't do that move and I did Ben White to Trent, I would have been forced to maybe play 2 or even 3 Newcastle players. So this is the reason why I've kind of gone down this route instead. Still not happy with the fixture, but we all know what Trent can do. He can concede a couple goals and still do pretty well on the bonus, and he always offers that attacking threat. I think this will be a really tough game for both teams, and I think they will improve away from home, and this will be, like I said, I think it'll be a tough game for both teams. I can see this ending 1-1. I can see Trent getting max bonus, Trippier in the bonus some way or another. Onto the double Arsenal defence with Saliba and Ben White. This just hasn't worked, and maybe the better plan might have been to go Ben White to Trent, but I didn't like moving away from the Arsenal defence when they've got a great run of 4 or 5 games now. So, and this is one of those fixtures, so I just didn't like that transfer. They didn't play particularly well last night against West Ham, and the game could have been 3 or 4-0. They didn't feel like they was ever really going to score. And what I don't like is when Zinchenko's playing well and he's pushing up so high, Ben White is almost like he makes up a back 3, like he slots in behind and makes up like a right centre back position. And that's the only thing I don't really like about owning Ben White. But if Zinchenko doesn't play, we all know White likes to get up and down that right flank. So I'll keep him for now, and I'll assess it in a couple of weeks' time to kind of see how we get on. But I'm relatively confident of a clean sheet against Fulham. They look like they've lost their goal scoring touch, and hopefully that continues against Arsenal, and I get a double Arsenal clean sheet. Trent home to Newcastle, I just think he's borderline essential right now. He's such a good player, and he does so well on the bonus that he's I think if you don't own a part of Liverpool defence, I think you might be suffering in the longer term, and Trent is the one to go for. I know he's 8.4 million, but even if you've got someone like a Trippier, Newcastle have got 3 tough games now. If you can get to Trent, I think Trent is still a viable option this week. And they have got the odd tough game here and there, but they've got easy games or easier games scattered in between all of those. Really like him. We all know what he can do. I won't talk about him too much. Pedro Porro, he's almost in a similar mode to Trippier, Trent, Cancelo from a few years ago, where he can concede 4 goals, get an assist, and then get 2 bonus points. Like, he got 5 points this week after conceding 4 goals. It's just absolutely mental. He does so well on the bonus, and his baseline is through the roof. So he's a very easy long-term hold for me. Like, he might be my team for the full season. I just don't see a need to sell him. Like, even in the harder games, I think he'll do well. So overall, pretty happy with my defence bar Trippier, but we'll see what transfers we can do to maybe try and move around that. What do you think about me going big at the back? Leave a comment down below and let me know if you're thinking of a similar strategy. Moving on to the midfield, and the 2 suspended Chelsea boys come back in Cole Palmer, Raheem Sterling away to Luton. A few weeks ago, this might have been on the easier scale, but we all know what happened to Lockyer, and I don't like this fixture as much anymore. It's a very emotional, hostile atmosphere here, and I think this will be another very emotionally charged game at Kenilworth Road. I think it'll be very tight, very closed, not a lot of chances. We'll see what happens. I think I need to play these against one of the lower teams in the league, and I think I'm just almost forced to play them. Pretty happy with them. Sterling was obviously not the player that I should have gone for, but he won't be in the team for much longer. I'll probably keep him in for this week, maybe next week, and we'll see what we can kind of do and to move around to different players. And if I'm looking at any kind of players right now, I'm still looking at the likes of Richarlison. I know he's not playing particularly well, but Son's going off to the Asia Cup next week, and having that transfer already in the bank when everyone's going to be wanting to make it, don't hate it. If I want an Arsenal attacker, I prefer the likes of Odegaard to Saka. That's my personal preference. I watched him in West Ham last night, and I thought Odegaard was just exceptional. I thought he was very, very good. I know Saka had quite a few shots, but just doesn't look at it. Like, he doesn't look sharp enough. Like, he doesn't look like he's going to actually score. And he could have easily got booked for diving. He made a very cynical foul. He could have easily got sent off in that game. I just prefer Odegaard, and for that 0.6 million cheaper, I just think he's a better asset personally. Onto Heung-min Son, home to Bournemouth. I think this is a very nice game for both Son and Porro. I know Bournemouth are playing particularly well, and they are scoring quite a few goals, but I think this is I think every game is a good attacking fixture for Son. I don't like him as much on the left wing, but he is still dangerous, and he might even play centre forward for his last game before he just go off to the Asia Cup, so we will wait and see. I think he's a very strong captaincy consideration for this week. It's between Son, Salah, maybe a couple of other players, but I think Son is probably not quite at the level of Salah, so that's probably where I'd maybe lean more towards Salah for the captaincy debate. But great option, great attacking threat, and he's just an easy hold until next week, and that's the reason why I've got the 2 free transfers. So I can take Son and Salah out for free next week. Moving on to Salah, we all know Newcastle's away problems, and if that continues against Liverpool, I think Liverpool's going to absolutely rip them apart. Salah's probably going up against the likes of Dan Burn. He's obviously going to beat him for pace, and he's on penalties. He's just a very, very easy option right now. I just don't see a world in where people aren't considering Salah for captaincy. If I did want to make a move now and I wanted to preempt the move, I can see why people might want to move and either transfer Son or Salah out. I'm looking at either the Arsenal boys. I'm still looking at Jared Bowen. Like, I know the likes of Kudos has gone. I know Paqueta's injured. Even Benrahma's going, but I think Jared Bowen is so instrumental to the way they play and so talismanic for them. And I think once Benrahma does go, he would be on penalties, or it'd probably be James Ward-Prowse and Jared Bowen fighting for the penalties. I just think he's a really great option. He's a really, really long-term solid option, Jared Bowen. So if I was going to make a move there, one of the Arsenal boys, Richarlison or Jared Bowen, or the likes of that. But Salah, great player on penalties, strong consideration for captaincy this week. And you've obviously guessed from my formation, I've got 5 at the back. For midfield, I've only got the single one lone striker in Ollie Watkins, home to Burnley. Really good fixture once again. Burnley look a little bit better, look like they're looking a bit more defensively solid. And it could be an outside shot for a captaincy debate. I just like the more established boys in the likes of Salah and Son, and that's the reason why I've currently opted for Mo Salah as my number 1 captaincy this week. I think he's going to go out with a bang. He goes to AFCON next week. I think this is just going to absolutely smash him, and I can see maybe getting a double return in this game, and it's just an easy pick for me. On to Ollie Watkins himself. It just doesn't look quite right. Like, we obviously played them and we beat them 3-2, and I thought Watkins did quite well in everything but scoring and shooting, and doesn't look quite at it right now, so we'll kind of see what he can do. He's a very easy long-term hold, and if you have got him, I wouldn't be looking to sell him anytime soon. Even if Haaland is potentially back, I'm looking at taking out the likes of Isaac. If we do get news that Haaland is back, I'm probably going to go Salah down to, I can afford 8.1, so I could go Salah down to Jared Bowen, I could go Isaac up to Haaland, and then I would start Haaland instead of Trippier. Trippier comes down to the bench, and that would be my lineup. And in that case, I probably would captain Haaland at the same time. But that's my team. I'm relatively happy with it. I do need to make a transfer this week. I'm not quite sure which way to go. Leave a comment down below of your transfer ideas, and we'll see what we can do and hope for more green arrows. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. So today we did a quick review of my Game Week 19 performance and swiftly moved on to my team selection for Game Week 20. Looked at a few different transfer ideas, what to do with the likes of Son, Salah and Haaland, and different kind of transfer options and targets. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and leave a comment down below. Have a good day. Peace and love.